We're good. It's
Okay, so just some quick notes, and then I'm going to let Cheryl take over. So these are things that I came up with, like I said, kind of on a whim. But I wanted to share with you guys what I had. So we are really focusing on like lifestyle posting and sharing your lifestyle and attracting people in that aspect. And so some things that I took notes on were adding Younique into your own life versus trying to cram your life into Younique. So just keeping it really authentic and, making your lifestyle post. I wrote down, pictures of products are okay, but a picture with your kids and like hints of Younique in there, like a Younique cup or Younique on your shirt or your Younique like task list or whatever right there can be just as beneficial. And when people see that, they still get Younique in their mind. Like even like if you look at a picture, you look at like all the little people, it still puts it on their radar. And another thing that my mom, because we were talking about the call on the drive over here, and another thing that she suggested, and it's actually really true because, I'll tell you in a minute, but selling in like random stuff like purses, baby clothes, things like that you have around your house on groups on Facebook is a great way to build your friendships, and it's like a natural way. It's not like, spamming people, cold messaging, things like that. I actually have a ton of customers that I sold Riley's baby stuff to. I know like this one girl and her sister are super good customers of mine, and they bought like her crib and her like some of her baby stuff. And whenever I deliver to them, I just mention like, hey, are you interested in makeup? You should check this out, and I'm gonna friend you. We friended on the spot. And over time, they saw my post about makeup, and now they buy makeup from me all the time. So that is another great way that you can add people onto your Facebook, but it's just posting about your lifestyle and them seeing that and then coming to you for the products. Another thing I wanted to say is like how we can't do income claims. I can't say like, hey, last month I made X amount or whatever. But if you post about your lifestyle, people will be attracted to that, and people watch and they see if you're doing more things with your family, if you're posting about doing more things with your family, if you're showing pictures of like going out to eat and going to get your nails done and things like that. When you get to do those nice fun things, post about it, because people see that and they automatically associate it with you being successful. They think, oh my gosh, she got to color her hair, she got to get her nails done, like she must be making money. Regardless if Younique paid for it or not, post about it, because people associate it with you being successful and they think, I want that. Like, I want to be able to have money to do that. Also, join groups on Facebook that you have mutual interests like in. If you are interested in stamp collecting, I don't know, whatever you're interested in. That's so random. On the way here, Cheryl's dying laughing. On the way here, my mom's like, we were talking about all this, but she was like, if you're interested in canning, and she kept saying that, my dad's like, what is your obsession with canning? Watching me make this video. Okay, anyway, that's funny. But he was like, why do you keep saying canning fruits and stuff or whatever? Anyway, you get the point. If you have interests like that, or like whenever we opened in, I think it was in Italy, everybody automatically wants to go join in the groups that are like Italian makeup or whatever. You go search those keywords. Everybody's like spamming all these Italian groups. So I joined some groups that was like cooking Italian dishes and things like that. And a lot of the people in there happen to be from Italy. And then I'm just like, hey, I'm interested, or I think it was when we opened in Australia. I joined some groups that were like travels in Australia, and I was like, hey, that's a place like I eventually would like to visit to. It might not happen soon, but I would like to visit there. And so I just asked people like, hey, my family and I might travel there. I mean, who knows if we ever will? Hopefully we will, because I want to come see you, Norel. But and I asked people like, hey, do you have any places like that must be places that I should put like on my list of things to do there? And then we just start a conversation, and then these people are my friends on Facebook. They can see my lifestyle posts. You get the point. But so adding yourself to these kind of groups that you have mutual interest in, you can avoid just like spamming people, and over time they see your why post. Okay. Another thing is capitalize on the opportunity to share whenever you have like unique things happen within your life. If you get unique mail packages, I know Cheryl does this all the time and I love it. You can open your other mail along with your unique box, just kind of sneak that in there, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey guys, remember this is what I do. But you're just adding it into the life you already have, right? And when you do things like convention or the Empower You events, any kind of events that you do that are unique related, make sure you post your pictures from those events. Your pictures of like, hey guys, take a selfie. I'm out making product deliveries today. Things like that. Incorporating your unique into your life already. And I wrote down, this kind of goes back into like being a magnet and being super positive and attracting people to you. And something that I was like, oh my gosh, here it is again. Create the fear of missing out. People want, to make people want to have what you have. I wrote down, make sure they want not just the job you have, but the life you're able to create because of what you do. So anyway, that is all I have. Hopefully Cheryl has some other great stuff to share with us, but that is what I had.
Yay. Well, back to what you said about the, posting about the things that you get. One of the classes that I took at convention, it was actually my least favorite class, but I did take some notes in there. They talked about the no income claims, and not to associate anything that you're doing with Younique. Let your followers figure that out. So, like the other day, I posted a picture of my mascara because it was like super awesome that day. And your followers, if they're seeing you post like about this stuff and every once in a while you throw in Younique and you also are talking about all these great things that you're doing, they're going to figure it out on their own. They don't need you to say like, hey, I bought this with my Younique purple card. Like, they don't need you to point it out. They're pretty smart. Okay, so fitting Younique in. One of the things that I've been doing, and actually I was at Best Buy, my laptop broke, or my laptop didn't install the new Windows update properly, and so I was at Geek Squad getting it fixed. And while I was there, I bought that little connector because I have an iPhone, right? I have an iPhone 7, so you can't listen to anything on your aux cord. So, well, you can't plug headphones in or aux cord or anything because of that stupid port, right? So I bought one of those extenders because I have one, but I never know where it is. And I left it plugged in my car. So I have an aux cord that's plugged into my car, and that's in there. And when I'm driving the kids to school, I'm playing my daily affirmations. They think it's pretty crazy. They're making fun of me. But, those things are sinking into their head too. That's going to be great for them one day. And regardless, like for me, it makes a huge difference in my business doing those affirmations in the morning. And there's some mornings where I don't have time unless I've listened to it while I'm driving. There's just no possible way I'm going to get to it. So I bought that so that I could listen to training while I'm in the car driving, because I could listen to the radio. And some days I do want to listen to the radio, or I can listen to training. And sometimes I know I need to get that in, or I have seen someone go live that I really want to hear, but I can't hear my phone very well in the car. So I bought that aux cord. I actually bought it for Sherry Brown's video about doing lash only parties. I bought that aux cord. I hooked it up. I didn't have to look at the, screen or anything, but I could play that training while I was driving. And I had just ideas just flowing the whole drive home. And I got home and I put them on paper really quick. Actually, I think I got to the school and I put them on paper really quick on a receipt in my car and wrote them all down. That way I fit it in when I had time, because that was a day that whole week I was never at home. So you can do that in the car. You can also play it over your phone while you're in the shower. You can play it while cooking. I do while cooking a lot. Also scheduling posts. We've talked about that before. But here's something that Becca is very, very good at the in-person networking. I'm not so good at that. I'm always nervous. I get a little scared. I never know what to say. I'm always really freaked out to talk to people face to face, because I typically don't look like this. I typically don't have makeup on, don't have my hair done, feel like I look like crap, and I don't want to talk to people about makeup when I look awful, because I'm sure that they're going to look at me and be like, what am I buying from you? Like, what? But I was actually, when I prepare for these calls, I go to other companies that I know someone in, and I read their tips, and then I figure out how can I apply that to Younique. And one of the things that this girl said was that she blitzes everyone who does anything for her. So if you're at a restaurant or you're going through a drive-through and you order just a sweet tea, I order sweet teas almost every day from somewhere. You order that drink, right? And you give the lady your money, she gives you your receipt, whatever, right? You hand her a Blitz card and you say, just simply, thanks for your help, here's a coupon for my business. Well, the company that I did the training on, they have a coupon on their Blitz card. We don't have that, right? But that wouldn't stop me from being able to take something like, a sticker and put on there with a little discount code. Like if you send me a screenshot of this, or you send me snap a pic of this, I'll give you a discount. Then I can hand it to them and say, here's a coupon. And I have tons of things that I could give away. But, or, hey, thanks, here, if you're ever interested in any makeup, I've got great deals, or whatever, and hand it to them, right? Like, that's it. That's simple. That's no pressure. I could do that. And I'm terrified to talk to people in real life. And if I instantly was like, that's something I can do. I don't have to introduce my business. I don't have to do anything. I just hand them this card. I can do that. And I have noticed that in the past maybe 2 months, I've made sure that I've mentioned Younique in some way with almost everybody I've talked to. And they're always like, wait, tell me more. So you're at home with your kids? And it's always when I'm out doing something, or, when I was getting ready to go to convention, I was telling everybody that I was leaving for convention. Everybody I talked to, I was telling. And they were like, wow, you're going to convention? And I went and met with a lady just a couple of days ago to do some business of my dad's. And she was like, hey, this is totally off topic, but the last time you were here, you were about to leave to go to convention, and you said that you guys have some really amazing mascara. Do you happen to have any of it? And I did, in my purse, and I sold her a mascara on the spot, added her to Facebook, and she's messaging me already talking about how much she loves the mascara and how much she needs more stuff. And it was all because I was talking about convention. I was not trying to sell her on the makeup. I was just talking about the awesome convention. Okay, another thing that I want to talk to you guys about is we all are busy, right? And so I don't know if you guys know the story. I know these two know the story of Kelsey Stacy, but I don't know if you guys know about Kelsey Stacy. Have you ever heard of her? Okay, so Kelsey Stacy is a Black Status presenter. When I heard her story, I related in a whole different level because of my husband and all of his issues. But her husband's a firefighter, or was a firefighter. And he was out on a firefighting, I don't know where they live, but somewhere where he was on a snowmobile doing firefighting stuff. So obviously somewhere up north. I didn't even know that happened, but apparently it does. And he had an accident, and he broke 2 vertebrae in his back, and he ended up with spinal cord injury, and he is paralyzed from the armpits down. That happened in December, I want to say, of 2015. On December 15th of 2015. I wrote it down. She had set herself a goal that month to enroll 20 people. Her husband was paralyzed. They were in the hospital. She was there with him for about 7 to 10 days. And on the, I think it was the 10th day, they came in and said, we're going to have to transfer you guys to this rehabilitation place in Denver. So they put them on a plane, sent them to Denver. And she had to figure out everything. She had a little boy, so they had to figure out how they were going to put that boy, how they were going to take care of him, where she was going to live. They had to figure all of that out. She had set this goal for 20 people. She enrolled all 20 people. In January, in between taking care of her son, being at the hospital with her husband, sleeping at the hospital with her husband, and going home, putting her kid to bed, and then coming back, sleeping at the hospital with her husband, and going home in the morning to be there for him. She set herself a goal, and in January, she enrolled 24 people. If she could do that with that going on, and it was all from doing this lifestyle stuff. It was all from sneaking it in. It was all from doing things like, when you're standing in line somewhere, sending a quick text like, hey girl, throw a lash bash for me, or, I want to help you get free makeup, or have you ever thought about doing what I do? Like simple messages like that. She wasn't investing a lot of time because she didn't have a lot of time. It was little minutes here and there whenever she had it, squeezing it in instead of doing 1,000 other things that she could have done, right? Because especially in something like that, like I imagine, you feel so overwhelmed that the idea of having to think about something else and not just zoning out and just watching something on TV or listening to something or playing a game or whatever would be so much easier. But instead, she had this. And this is the only reason, Younique is the only reason that her family survived through without hurting financially and stuff. So she knew that she wanted this. It was a priority to her. And so she fit it into her free moments wherever she had them. And to me, that's the training in my, time in the car or while I'm cooking or whatever. I have a book that I read like one chapter out of every day. I always do this. Read one chapter. Hey, Andrea. I read one chapter out of a book almost every single day to further my personal development. I try to watch at least one training video a day about something. And sometimes it's just straight up makeup skills. And then I try to make sure that I'm hitting those things. Like I post my task list, or if I don't post it in Bree's group, I definitely have my task list written down and I make sure that I check all those things off. And some days I'm like really stretching. Like I'm like, 5 friends. How am I going to find 5 friends today? Like I don't have anything. I feel like I've already added everybody I can add, but I find a way. I will go into a group and find a thread of comments and find somebody that I feel like I can relate with in that thread of comments, comment back and forth with them a few times so that I can send them that friend request. Anything. But what I find a lot is that with my going live every day, and I'm going to change up the way I go live because I go live and I do my whole makeup. But instead, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to do like once a week, I'm going to do the full live with my makeup. But usually I try to go live like Monday through Friday or Sunday through Thursday, something like that. Those other days, I'm going to pop on and just do a quick makeup tip. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, I was just finishing up my makeup and I thought about this and I'm going to tell you guys, like the primer over the lipstick to make it stay, or mascara application, or a quick liner tip, like putting powder on your waterline to make it stay all day. Those little things, like those little tips, I'm going to pop on and just do a quick little tip. That way it's just a quick little live. And people don't feel like they have to be able to go live for 30 minutes every single day to make this work. I guess that's really all I got.
The one thing I did want to add is whenever you're talking about that, about how people like perceive you as being successful and stuff, it's really true because I've had people actually message me and they're like, I see you're super successful with what you're doing. And I'm like, oh, wow, I must have you convinced. Like, I mean, in my opinion, I'm like, I am successful because I set out to make extra money and I'm doing that. But I'm like, wow, they like really think I'm successful. Like, wow, thank you. But so people are seeing you as that. Like, you have to show that with the way you're posting and they will be attracted to that. So I just wanted to add that. There's something else I was going to add, but I forgot it.
And success looks different to every person, right? So there's a lot of things that I do because I don't think, there's a lot of things that I find myself posting and I don't think that it seems very successful, but it's what I post about, right? Because it's just my life. And then someone will message me and they'll be like super impressed by it. And I'm like, oh, that's impressive to you. It wasn't impressive to me, but that's awesome. And I mean, everybody's perception is different. So I always think, well, nothing that I do is going to be enough because I think of, buying a boat or buying a house or buying, all these big things as being successful. But it's so much less than that to the everyday person. Even
Mom, I'm going to take care of that.
To me, I think about other people's successes as small things, but when they're my own, I just don't ever feel like they quite measure up to that level to feel successful, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
the thing I was going to add too is that I had said like where I added people or I had sold people things and then added them, like, and if you're scared, this is one thing, like another tip I have too, like, so say you sell a purse to a lady and she comes over to your house and gets the purse, or you meet her, whatever. If you don't want to say like, hey, are you interested in makeup? Here's my info on my makeup, like, let's add each other on Facebook. Another thing you could say is, I'm also doing more of a closet clean out, like, let me add you, and then, like, I can tell you if I have more other items. So then they're on your friends list, and then they can see the makeup stuff, but they're there for the purse or the baby clothes. Because that is one thing. Like, some of the people I would sell to, or I would like initially tell them about the makeup and stuff. But some people I'm like, she's not wearing that much makeup. She might not be interested. I'm like, hey, I have some other stuff that I'm selling too. Like, let's become Facebook friends, and then they just get to see all my other posts. And if they choose to take action on that, great. Or I'll probably message them eventually and make them take action on that. But and oh, what else? I just had something else cross my mind. Gosh, I keep losing everything. I think that's it. So.
Okay, so does anybody have any questions?
I have questions.
Okay, let's hear them.
So it actually came up tonight, and I might be, so I guess I have two questions. There is some sort of, like, I guess, rule book that I didn't read or about posting. So there's like this moms group, and they have like a, I don't know, sell your stuff Sunday or something. That's what they call it. So I posted something, but I wasn't really even selling anything. I kind of made it like one of those like lifestyle posts, but you know, it was obvious that there was something to be sold, but you had to message me for details.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share it if I can. But then, so I've gotten, well, one of my friends that I know of, like, it's a NOLA moms group. So one of my friends liked it. And then somebody else said me in the comments. Like, there was actually like action on the post. And then I got like a message from one of, I guess, the admins of the group saying that they had heard from other Younique distributors that it was against Younique regulation to post like that in groups.
With Younique, you can post the opportunity on groups, but you're not supposed to like sell anything like individual products unless you're an admin of the group. Isn't that right, Cheryl? You have to be like an admin group, like your own VIP group. Obviously, you can sell things like that, or post deals in that group. It's all in the in our presenters agreement online, so you might have to go there and read specifically, but it also probably depends how you word it is. So because things like, are
well, that's and the thing. I didn't sell anything at all. Like it literally said like Younique, it's more than just Epic Lashes or something. Message me for details. Yeah. That's all it said.
So then no, you didn't break any sort of rule.
No, you did nothing wrong.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I think she was confused too. She was like, hey, I think she was just being kind. And she was like, hey, I just wanted you to know. But I literally, there's no price. I literally tried to make it one of those like, message me for details, because I would talk to you about more than just the lashes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, like, you're good. I also, like, I've been doing that kind of like pumping the well before I get to Fort Hood, because that's where we're going. I like added myself to a bunch of Fort Hood like Army Spouse things, and they have like an advertise your link day or whatever, and I'm like, hello, I don't live there yet, but I'm gonna tell you that I'm right there. Like, you added me to the group, so you're getting my info on there. So I did the exact same thing, and it's probably just the admin has the wrong info, or somebody's told them the wrong info. So
if you would put like, message me to buy this Epic mascara, it's
right. Like if I would have put like Ultimate Lash Trio,
yes,
$76, like, or whatever it is, you know, like. But I didn't. I like specifically didn't do that. Like I said, message me for details.
I'm in several groups, and one of them that we do a I don't know. I don't even know what they call it.
Yeah, but like a small business Saturday, or there's a couple groups that have it.
Yeah. So the group that I'm in, I try to like watch that group, because 4 of us presenters in there.
Yeah.
It is they do it on Mondays. It's typically on Mondays, but sometimes the admin forgets and doesn't put it up for a couple days. And so the way that I do it, is, well, one, if another Younique presenter has already commented, I read every single comment, no matter how many there are. If another one has already commented, I just back up whatever she said. Like, no matter what it is, I will say, like, yes, best decision of my life was to start getting Younique, like that. But if I'm the first one to post, what I always post is something about my VIP group. And I will say something like, I have a makeup line, join my VIP group, or send me a PM for more details. So, and, I'll post a picture of my face or something like that. So they have to actually talk to me or go to my VIP group to
right.
Younique. That's how I always do that, just because I've had some pretty sharky, like, Younique girls contact me about different things that I've done. So I always try to make sure that I'm doing things in a super careful way to where most people aren't going to catch on and even, know.
Yeah, it's not like you're blatantly violating the agreement. I'm in a group where this girl literally posted one of the new, like, make your own palettes and was like, all right, take your chance, $2 a spot. There's 25 slots available. And I screenshot it and sent it to Cheryl and Becca and was like, all right, refresh my memory because I'm not back yet, but isn't this against the rules? They were like, yeah, okay, just making sure I'm not crazy. Because, you didn't do anything like that, so you're good.
No, I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, so any other questions?
Yeah, Adrian, did you have another question? Or was that it?
Oh, just kind of the rules thing. It's like, because I've heard other people, like, say other things, like, you can't have a sale unless it's in your whatever. Or I've seen people say that to other people in these Younique groups. And so I was just kind of like, where do all these rules come from? And how does, like, they're kind of like rule keepers at the kickball games. I'm like, I'm out there to have a good time. Try not to, like, ruffle any feathers, like, and they're like,
a little handbook
taking the rule book. Right? Like, they're like, here it is.
So your presenter's agreement, it has all the rules in it. So it's got the things. Hey, Caitlin. So it's got the things in there about, like, the fact that you can't publicize a sale. You also can't incentivize people joining, which I mean that's huge. And you can't pay for someone else's kit. Like, that's completely against the rules. But with a lot of those things, it's just so that it's an even playing field. So that, I mean, Becca's been in Younique longer than me. I've seen how many, like, half-off items she has and how much YCash she has. It would be so unfair if she was like, hey, if you join my team, I'm going to give you 5 half-off items. It wouldn't affect her at all, right? But then I would be like, crap, Brandy's not going to join my team because she's going to go to Becca's.
I want those 5 half-offs.
Like, it would just... It's supposed to even the playing field. Now, I see people that are breaking those rules where they're offering to pay for people's kits, or they're offering, like, percentages off the kit, or things like that all the time. And I'm always like, that's not fair. But I don't go running to turn them in because it's just not my, like, it's just not my thing. I mean, in the class that I was at in convention, they, like, gave us an email and I literally wrote it down, but I'll probably never use it because it's just not my, like, I feel like karma will catch up to people who follow the rules, so it's not my thing. But now, if I saw, like, one of you guys doing something that I knew, and I thought you were doing it because you didn't know, I would probably just send you a message and just say, hey, be careful, blah, 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 blah. If you decided to keep doing it, that would be your business, and if compliance contacted you, that would be between you and them. But, that's it. But, so there are a lot of things in the agreement, and since you brought that up, that is one of the classes I took. That's the one I didn't like, but I did take notes in.
Right.
And they said, make sure you read the agreement because the rules are, 1, legally binding, but 2, they're there to protect us because the FTC and, like, the DSA, they can shut Younique down and they can shut us down and they can actually sue us if we start doing some of these things wrong. So earlier this week, Becca posted in the Glam Girls group about the lash serum and not calling it growth. Instead, I actually saw that they say fortifying your lashes. And the reason for that is because of the whole, like, FDA thing. Like, it would get us in a lot of trouble because we become a drug thing. These rules are put in place by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. Yeah. So I wrote it down wrong, but yeah, I knew what I meant. But they're put in place by them to keep, and so in order for us to not get in trouble with them, we have to follow these rules because they're out to get the network marketing world, right? Like traditional businesses do not like the way that network marketing works because it takes away from their profits, right? And so make sure that you're following those up. That you're sure that you're following those rules. But you didn't break a rule with what you did. So
yeah. I was going to tell you guys too, if you jumped on during the middle, we're going to post a replay because Cheryl is recording this. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. I don't know if this is going to cut off soon because we did join a little early.
4.5 minutes.
If any other questions, pop them in.
Anybody have any other questions? Alrighty. Well, then we'll go ahead and end this so there's not dead time on here. But if you have anything that you want to see training on, let Becca or I know because, you know, we want to make sure that we're giving you guys the things that you want or you need. But definitely catch the replay if you were late. And if you have anything that you want to know more about, let us know. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Oh, and does this time work good for people? Or do you want to? This is good? What do you think? Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll let you guys know. All right. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, guys.